everyone and welcome. Today, I want to share a story that on the surface might seem simple, but it holds a powerful truth about how we navigate our own minds. There was once a girl who came from a middle-class family, and like a lot of us, she had a dream. It wasn't a grand world-changing ambition, just a personal one. She really wanted a smartphone. But here's the most fascinating part. She didn't want her parents to just buy it for her. In her heart, she felt this deep need to earn it herself. It wasn't just about the gadget. It was about something far more profound. It was about proving to herself that she was capable, that she could set a goal, work for it, save for it, and achieve it independently. She wanted to stand tall, knowing that her own effort had brought her that little piece of joy. So she started, slowly, steadily. Every small job she took, every penny she managed to put aside, it all felt like a step, a tiny victory moving her closer. She counted the days, watched her savings grow, and in her mind, she played out the moment she'd finally hold that phone. And then it happened. The day came. She walked into the store, her heart doing this excited little tap dance. She picked out the model she'd admired for so long, felt its weight in her hand, explored its features, and smiled at the sound of every notification. That happiness, simple and pure, was all hers because she had earned it. Now, why am I telling you about this girl and her phone? Because her story, in its beautiful simplicity, highlights a crucial point: the incredible power of focused action, of moving forward with clear intent, and the pure joy that comes from achievement, untainted by the often complex labyrinth of our own thoughts. What if that girl had spent weeks, months, endlessly replaying conversations in her head about whether she should ask her parents, whether she was even capable of earning the money, whether she'd choose the right phone, or if her friends would judge her choice? What if she'd gotten stuck in the thinking about earning it instead of just doing it? That, my friends, is the heart of what we're diving into today: overthinking. It's that relentless, often exhausting loop in our heads that can steal our peace, our joy, and sometimes even our ability to act. It's not just thinking deeply, it's thinking in circles, without resolution, often about things that are entirely out of our control or have already happened. Think about it. How many times have you been caught in the snare of caring too much about others' opinions? We twist ourselves into knots, reshaping our words, our actions, even our very lives around what we imagine other people might think. We curate our social media feeds, second-guess our outfit choices, censor our true feelings in conversations, all because of the phantom gaze of others. The irony is, while we're dedicating immense mental energy to this, the people whose opinions we fear are likely barely thinking about us. Their attention is fleeting, quickly moving to their own lives, their own concerns. Yet the long-term toll of living for someone else's approval, that's ours and ours alone to bear. It's like carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks that only you can feel, just in case someone might glance your way. And speaking of social media, have you ever felt that gnawing sensation of joy theft through comparison? You're perfectly happy with your new plant, or that delicious meal you cooked, or even just a quiet evening in. Then you scroll. Suddenly, someone else's extravagant vacation, their perfectly curated home, or their seemingly effortless success makes your own joy feel diminished. It's no longer about the authentic happiness you just felt. It's about the illusion of missing out, of not being enough, of wishing your life looked more like their highlight reel. Overthinking amplifies this. We dissect what makes their life seem better, what we lack, and suddenly, our genuine contentment is snatched away, replaced by a hollow ache of inadequacy. This often leads us to chase borrowed happiness. We see someone else's joy, perhaps in a fancy car, a specific kind of relationship, or a successful career path. And we overthink our way into believing that if we just acquire that exact same external thing, we will replicate their exact same internal feeling. But happiness isn't a one-size-fits-all product you can buy off the shelf. That desire, mixed with constant comparison, sets us up for disappointment. We get the thing, and it doesn't feel the way we thought it would. Then comes the regret, the "why isn't this working for me?" spiral. All because we were trying to wear someone else's shoes, instead of finding our own path to contentment. Overthinking doesn't just steal joy, it can also steal our momentum, leading to what's known as decision paralysis. Imagine waking up and spending 20 minutes staring at your closet, unable to decide what to wear. Or standing in front of the fridge, debating between two breakfast options until you're almost late for work. Or the endless back and forth about whether to text someone back immediately or wait, and what their response really means. Even small choices become monumental tasks, exhausting us before the day has even properly begun. We waste more energy deciding than we ever would doing. The mental gymnastics of weighing every single pro and con, imagining every possible outcome, leaves us frozen, unable to move forward, even on the most trivial matters. And then there's the cruel irony of sleep struggles. The moment our heads hit the pillow, that's often when the overthinking machine kicks into high gear. The day's conversations replay themselves on an endless loop. Did I say the right thing? Should I have handled that differently? We imagine what-if scenarios for tomorrow, or next week, or even next year. The presentation, the difficult conversation, the looming deadline, they all dance around in our minds, preventing the rest we desperately need. This lack of sleep then feeds the beast, leading to fatigue, irritability, and guess what? More overthinking the next day, creating a vicious cycle that's incredibly hard to break. Perhaps one of the most painful consequences of overthinking is missed opportunities. While we're lost in our heads, rehearsing every possible word, every potential outcome, life keeps moving. That moment to speak up in a meeting, to share a brilliant idea, to ask a question that could change everything, it slips away. The chance to confess feelings to someone, to express appreciation, to truly connect. Gone, because we were too busy analysing every nuance. The impulse to start a new project, to explore a hobby, to take a leap of faith, it gets intellectualized into oblivion until the window closes. Overthinking tells us we're being thorough, but often it's just making us invisible to the possibilities rushing by. And if you've ever found yourself straining relationships because of overthinking, you're not alone. We dissect texts, scrutinize tones of voice, even imaginary ones, and interpret silence as a loaded message. Did they mean that? Are they mad at me? Why haven't they responded yet? We conjure up problems that don't even exist, creating drama and distance where there was none. We project our anxieties onto others, building walls of suspicion and misunderstanding, all from the quiet confines of our own minds. It's like watching a silent movie in your head and writing the most dramatic script possible, then believing it's real. So if any of this resonates, take a breath. You're not broken, you're human. The good news is, just like that that girl earning her phone, we can train ourselves to shift from endless rumination to intentional action and inner peace. It takes practice, but it's absolutely doable. Let's talk about some practical, maybe even a little unusual ways to break free from this overthinking loop. First up, try setting a worry timer. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. Give yourself a dedicated window each day, say 10 minutes, to think about all your worries. When those intrusive thoughts pop up outside that designated time, gently but firmly remind yourself, not now, later. You're not suppressing the thoughts entirely, you're simply rescheduling them. This trains your mind that it will get its dedicated worry time, but it needs to wait. Over time, you'll find those thoughts lose some of their urgency and power. And you might even discover that by the time your worry slot arrives, many of them have faded. Here's another one. Write, then destroy. Grab a piece of paper and just scribble down every single intrusive thought, every nagging worry, every fear that's looping in your head. Don't censor it. Don't try to make sense of it. Just get it all out. Then, with intention, tear that paper into tiny pieces, or if you can do it safely, burn it. The ritual itself provides a powerful sense of closure. Instead of letting those thoughts recycle endlessly in your mind, this physical act gives them an endpoint, a symbolic release. You're literally destroying the evidence of their power over you. For those of us caught in decision paralysis, especially with small choices, embrace micro-decisions rule. When you're stuck on what to wear, what to eat, or a minor email response, try flipping a coin. Or implement a strict 2-minute rule. Make a decision within 120 seconds and no going back. The key here isn't to make the perfect choice, it's to build your decision-making muscle. The more you practice making small, quick decisions and living with them, the more you'll realize that the world doesn't end if your socks don't perfectly match your shirt. This frees up mental energy for the truly important decisions. Then there's the powerful mental check-in question. Ask yourself, will this matter 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years from now? This simple query is a brilliant filter. Most of the things we overthink about, a minor social faux pas, a slightly imperfect task, a small disagreement, simply won't hold significance in the grand scheme of things. If the answer is no, or even probably not, it gives you permission to drop it, to release its grip on your present moment. When your thoughts are flying around your head like a frantic flock of birds, try to anchor in the body. Overthinking is an intensely cerebral activity, so grounding yourself physically can be incredibly effective. A quick sensory reset can work wonders. Take a moment to consciously notice 5 things you can see around you. Then 4 things you can touch, the fabric of your clothes, the desk, your own skin. 3 things you can hear, the hum of the fridge, distant traffic, your own breath. 2 things you can smell, and finally, 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise pulls you out of your head and firmly plants you in the present moment, breaking the thought loop. And finally, my favourite and perhaps the most freeing, do something imperfect on purpose. This is about retraining your brain's need for perfection. Send a message with a deliberate typo, as long as it doesn't change the meaning, of course. Wear mismatched socks to work. Order food without agonizing over the menu for 20 minutes. The point is to consciously choose to do something that isn't perfect and observe that the world doesn't collapse. No one probably even notices, and if they do, who cares? This gentle rebellion against the tyranny of perfectionism teaches your brain that small imperfections are not catastrophes, and that life goes on beautifully, even when things aren't flawlessly executed. Remember that girl and her smartphone? She had a dream, she took action, and she found joy in the doing, not in the endless deliberation. Overthinking is a habit, and like any habit, it can be unlearned, or at least rewired. It's about recognizing when the loop starts, gently pulling yourself out of it, and choosing to step into the present moment, into action, into imperfection. You have the power to break free from the endless loop. Start small, try one of these techniques, and give yourself the gift of clarity, peace, and the pure, earned joy of living a life less overthought. And with that, we'll wrap up today's session. Thank you for listening. If anything we talked about today resonated with you, or if you have your own effective ways of breaking the overthinking cycle, please let us know in the comments section below. I would love to hear your stories and insights. I'll see you in the next podcast, but until then, take care. And don't forget to subscribe to The Quiet Mind for more such enlightening contents every week.